Welcome back to Bros in the Landfill. 9 out of 10 neats say we're the best way to start your weekend.
Hell yeah.
What's a neat?
So, games, they're a thing.
Did we really just transition into the next episode?
Yeah.
That was brutal.
That's what Try wanted.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Games are a thing. Lunch is a game.
Lunch is a game.
That's right.
So who's the theory?
Tar is the theory.
Oh shit, oh fuck.
And Dizzy's the Map Pat.
Which means Try is our dropping subscriber rate.
Hooray!
Can I have one freaking episode where you don't start by insulting me?
Every introduction's an insult.
I'd just like to clear the record
on
about the
episode
Minecraft
100.
Steve thing. And just say that I don't think that anymore.
I think I've had one... I think I've at least once given you a compliment on the introduction. I guarantee. I swear I did.
Yeah,
me?
I promise. It was
I don't want you to give me compliments.
Spaceship one.
Let's be honest. Like,
I don't want
compliment is
Commander
the biggest.
Tar, Admiral Dizzy, and Janitor Try.
The compliment is the biggest insult you can give to Dizzy.
I'd like to be a janitor. I literally am applying for the position.
Speaking of janitors, E3 happened last week, which was this week that you guys are totally listening to on the week that we're recording this.
Welcome back to Bros in a Landfill, where we finally get all 4 members together to talk about something that none of us cared about. Except for lunch.
Excuse me.
Except for lunch.
E3
all right,
happened,
3 out of 4.
And I woke up for
So-
every single conference in my New Zealand time zone, which meant I woke up at 4 a.m. multiple times.
Alright, I'm sorry.
And
That
I'm
means
I'm
the sleep
sorry.
schedule's fucked.
I'm fucked.
Everyone's sleep
So,
schedule is fucked that I know.
So E3 happened. There was a lot of games. We talked about it a bit last week. Lunch and I. We had a Smash update. We have some Pokemon stuff. We have new games. Luigi's Mansion 3 makes me want to play Luigi's Mansion 2.
You should play Luigi's Mansion 1.
I just don't want to use my 3DS
Luigi's Mansion
ever.
1 is okay.
3DS is great.
I
love the 3DS.
I like the games on it, but I don't like the
Go out
hardware.
right now and buy Kirby's
so
Triple
I don't-
Deluxe.
Hurts my neck to look at. It's a little res. My slide pad fell off. It sucks.
Oh, that explains.
Slide
Oh, so
pad
you
fell
abused
off?
yours. That's the problem.
No, I swear I didn't. I only played
My
like
I
fucking...
love-
the rubber on my control stick fell off my 3DS.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
heard
what I
about
meant. That's what I
that.
meant. Not
That's
the
what you get for
actual
playing
slide
Smash
pad.
on your 3DS.
I didn't play
No,
Smash. I was
that's-
just playing like Ace
I didn't
Attorney and
play
shit.
Smash
I don't know
on
what
the
happened.
3DS either.
Actually, I heard that happens to a lot of people's 3DSs. They had to fix it with them when they made the new 3DS. Apparently,
Yeah.
the circle pads were not made
Yes.
for the intensive thumb movements.
Yes, I did
Yeah,
have an original
Wait,
one.
what?
I love
Yeah,
my new. I
that's
love
what
my
a
new
TS
3DS
is.
XL. I fucking love my new 3DS XL. So fuck you guys.
I have an Isabel new 3DS where they
Excellent.
fixed the circle button.
I mean, look, they're
Yeah,
great games.
I
and
heard
everything.
about
I
that.
don't
That
hate
was
it. I just don't want to.
I would not want to play an Etrian Odyssey or a Persona Q game on anything other than a 3DS, so I can walk and draw my maps at the same time.
Well,
You
Yeah,
need to
I'm
play
happy
Etrian
for
Odyssey
you.
4. It's good.
I do.
Anyways, let's stop talking about old games and talk about new games. Lunch, you need to start. Lunch, you need to start
okay,
because
I
you're
watched-
the only one of us who watched it.
I watched the whole E3, so where do I even start?
Start with Gun Grandma because it's the only thing that any of us know about that's not Nintendo related.
Okay, so that was great, actually.
Wait, what the shit?
It's not so in the new Watch Dogs game, you can recruit any single NPC in the entire game to be part of the Resistance and play as them, and they like voiced and can do anything, including grandmas. And so a big
Yeah.
thing they showed off in the trailer was like shooting dudes in the face as grandma and like trying to like vault over small objects and stuff. And she's like really slow. It was incredible.
Yeah,
She gets the
Alright.
call
she's
from like
retired
the
assassin.
operative, and
Wait,
she's like, "This
so-
better be
so-
fucking good."
So you're telling
So
me that
cool.
Watch Dogs hard mode now exists?
Yeah, like if you want to build your entire Resistance out of grandmas, you can.
The Grandma Legion of Doom is coming.
Exactly. So that was actually cool. I
The
didn't expect.
Grandma Legion of Doom. I love
Hell
it.
yeah, they should rename the game.
When did this become Fire Emblem?
Oh!
Dude, I wish you could play the
Oh!
grandma in Fire Emblem. I guess you can in 6 because of that one lady, but no one cares. Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised that
No, it's all
Watch
the
Dogs
lollies.
could. Oh god, they do not count as grandmas.
Yes,
They
they
count
do.
as a legal problem. That's about
That
it.
too. They can be
my
both. Those aren't mutually
Ow.
exclusive.
My legal
gonna-
problem grandma sounds like an anime title.
I want to get back to Lunch's wonderful conversation about Watch Dogs.
Hold on, I'm writing
that was
these
kind of the
things
main
down.
thing. It's really impressive that you can be literally anyone in the whole town or the whole city, and like all the NPCs like have their own like daily schedules where like they go from place to place like people would, and so you have to like hack into their data to find out where they'd be and then like somehow recruit them. It's cool. Yeah, I don't. There were. Fuck, I've spent a whole week watching E3, so I'm trying to think of what the big things to touch on are. Bethesda had this really annoying dude in the audience that made watching the conference like unwatchable.
Oh my god!
Like every time, like the people on stage were saying anything, this one guy was like, "Yeah!" and it like
I saw that
like
I
all
saw
the
that.
time, and like the conference was already too long, so to have it get staggered out by that was painful.
Please tell me.
No,
Sorry,
Bethesda
that
kind
dude
of
me.
you
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I was about to say that that sounds like something Tar would do.
That's amazing.
And not
Read like a menu.
not because he's generally impressed with us on stage. He's just doing it to fuck with everybody.
I can imagine this guy just being a troll who hates Bethesda, just coming in to make their conference awkward. That'd be amazing.
I would do that, but I don't have the spine for it, and I don't have the money either.
I mean, you don't have a spine either way, so.
I don't have the
Oh,
spine or the
damn.
money. I don't have the money to get in, and I don't have like the guts to like Todd. Every time Todd Howard says something, I just scream, "Yeah!"
He doesn't have a spine or guts. He is
I wouldn't
Dizzy is
do it
incorporeal.
initially. I would do it if someone said something about it.
Well,
I would
No,
have
I
a
do-
megaphone,
I
and I
do-
would just yell, "Yeah!"
Now I do
and
believe
get them
that
out.
Tar is the breathtaking guy.
well, there you go.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Did you see?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
no.
got it.
You're breathtaking.
Okay, that was another great moment of E3. One of the best moments
Yeah.
of E3. You're watching a
I
Cyberpunk
don't-
trailer, like everything's, it's a cool game trailer. But then at the end of the trailer, fucking Keanu Reeves appears on screen, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And then it cuts back to the E3 stage, and then Keanu Reeves shows up, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Why did he show up though?
It was amazing. Everyone was so delighted, and
This was like the most wholesome E3 ever.
he was having
See,
so much
I
fun on
can't-
stage. I'm
too cynical
Was it
to
just
be
wholesome
impressed
in
by
general,
this.
or was it wholesome because Keanu Reeves was there?
Well, no, because there's that I forget her name, but the girl from that one.
That woman who
That woman?
introduced Tokyo Wire.
Yeah,
Ghost whatever.
Ghostwire. Yeah.
I have no idea what that fucking is.
When I hear- when I hear
Neither does
named
anyone else because
actor-
it's a CG trailer. But she was really
Yeah.
enthusiastic about it, but she couldn't speak English very well, and it was really
Oh.
funny.
See, when I hear named paid actor, I don't get excited. I get cynical, and I think so. Were you here because you're famous, or were you here because you have something to do with this game? And if it's the first one and not the second one, then I immediately don't care.
Well, he is
yeah.
he is literally he's one of the most, he plays like the second most important character in the whole game.
Okay, well that's all right then.
And he's
Okay,
on stage,
then I
and
can
he
let it
was just
slide.
there just to talk a little bit about the game. But
Yeah, but
everybody was just so
it-
genuinely elated to see him, and he's just like
Yeah,
standing
but-
there, and he's like Cyberpunk, and everyone's like, yeah.
It's like when they hired
Keanu Reeves
Robert
is
Downey
like-
Jr. to advertise for like Black Ops 3, and then Robert Downey Jr. had nothing to do with Black Ops 3, and it's
Yeah.
like, why did you pay for him to advertise?
No, that
the
stuff
game
sucks.
if-
But Keanu Reeves is
Yeah.
actually in the game,
Yeah.
Well, that's better at least.
and he was totally hamming it up being on stage. It was really funny. Like,
It's
Did
like,
he-
this game-
did he
he's
kill
talking about how breathtaking
Scorpion?
the game is, and then somebody in the audience like, "You're breathtaking," and then then Keanu Reeves like, "You're all breathtaking."
it was.
Did
it was
did
great.
Keanu Reeves then do a fatality on Scorpion?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I was
right
one.
on stage.
I-
That's
That was
I
the
was
only
curious-
part of the E3 I saw.
I was curious because they said Keanu Reeves was the new DLC for Mortal Kombat 11, and I was like, was that a joke? And it's like, oh, I
that
guess
was
not.
Shaggy.
Well, it's just
Keanu
the
Reeves
fun.
is Shaggy.
It's just funny because
You
Keanu Reeves is
bastard.
in everything. Because he's in Cyberpunk, and also he's in Fortnite. So it's like Keanu Reeves is everywhere. So why not?
Keanu Reeves is the original meme.
Oh, call Keanu Reeves for bros in a landfill.
Well, everybody loves him. Okay, so
I
what else?
don't.
I
You suck, Keanu
generally
Reeves.
I thought E3 was kind
You'll
of
never
like, it
be
does
on
feel
Bros in
like
a landfill.
we'll it seems like we're probably going to get next gen announced next year, so it felt like everybody was keeping their cards a little close to the chest so they could reveal it at the right time.
That's good news
Like,
for me.
Apparently Halo is gonna launch with the next Xbox in like at like the end of next year, when I was hoping it'd be a
Halo
bit closer.
6?
But that's okay.
Wait, I
it
thought
looks
you
really
said
cool.
last week they were probably going to pull out of the console wars.
Well,
I said if their next console fails, they'll definitely pull out.
The
of the
next
company.
console fails.
but we were also talking about how like because Xbox is putting so much effort into like streaming and subscriptions and stuff.
They're
And
putting stuff
they
on
weren't
Steam,
winning the
aren't they?
console war. But that was one thing that was interesting about this conference. We didn't learn much about the new console. It was at least the confirmation that they're going to continue to compete directly in like the console space.
Mm-hmm.
They announced a bunch of stuff at Game Pass, PC for Game Pass, and it's like Game Pass is an amazing fucking service. People who don't have an Xbox like don't understand how many cool games you can play for like not a lot of money, and like modern games as well. It just keeps getting better and better. So like that's really awesome.
Talking
lot of
to
upcoming
a guy with a
games.
360.
All right,
Never-
this guy's OG.
I never ever
I'm-
played
I-
Xbox and probably never will.
I never played Xbox. I probably never will.
Well,
I
okay. Here's the
picked
thing:
up, like,
Game Pass
one
is
game
coming
for
to
the
a.
Xbox.
Damn it! Well,
You know-
Two
Game
games.
Pass. Well, here's the thing: Game Pass is coming to PC, so it would still be probably, at least when they add more games, so a pretty good.
I don't play
purchase.
games on my PC though.
Well, there
I
you
play
go.
very low res games
At-
on my PC.
At the very least, I just want to say
Like
that-
Tadpole Terrible. Go out and buy it
Microsoft-
right now. It's really good.
I
PS1
play-
endorses.
I play Worms and Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion.
Oh my
That's
god!
great. I love
Am I
guitar.
saying am I even saying the game's name right? Tadpole
It's
Terrible.
Tadpole Treble. Treble. It's like,
Treble.
It's like treble from. It's a music term.
I don't know music. Are you kidding me? I dropped out.
That explains a lot.
I was in a music class for literally 2 years, and I
Yeah.
absorbed none of the information I was supposed to.
Just if you listen to this
My
podcast,
dad
go
was
buy
so
Tadpole
disappointed.
Treble on Steam. It's an amazing, cheap indie game.
Buy
that deserves
Tadpole Terrible and don't buy the new Xbox because it doesn't exist yet. Unless you're
Hang
watching this
on.
video a year later.
Hang
Hang on. I need to address the elephant in the room here. How the fuck do you drop out of music?
This is Dizzy.
Oh,
You
things
mean
are about to get
the-
real.
You get really, 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 really bad at it. And then you ask your parents to ask the principal to remove you from the roster.
Well, look, I appreciate that you stuck with it for 2 years at least.
So does my
2
dad.
years is a pretty long time to be like, actually, I suck. It's been 2 years. I don't know what a treble is. Can I please go? But,
It's
yeah.
like, no, Dizzy. It's not terrible. It's treble. This is.
I was saying
You've been-
table.
We've said treble 100 times in this class. Why can't you say it correctly?
The same reason I can't remember your name, teacher.
Mr. Mrs. Fuck.
So E3.
I was praising
what's the other-
Microsoft for Game Pass because Game Pass is fucking awesome, but nobody else here understands or appreciates it. But you know what? That's okay.
See, I'm
Halo
I'm
looks
really
cool.
glad. I was gonna say I'm really glad Lunch is here because I didn't watch any of E3 because I boycott like 90% of the companies involved.
Lunch is the only one that's watched E3. Let's be honest. Like, I watched the Nintendo Direct E3 because we had a work party lunch thing, and we watched it on like our flat screen in the office. But that's beside the point.
I remember vaguely hearing about Gun Grandma, and I remember everyone went bonkers for the big thing that everyone went bonkers for that I'm assuming we're saving till last.
Was that Banjo-Kazooie?
He just
Fuck
said
you, Dizzy, yes, it is.
motherfucker.
I already said Banjo. I already screamed.
Yeah,
Okay,
try.
all right. We're
Try
now
audio.
talking about
What?
this.
Let's just talk
Okay,
about
we're
something
talking about
because
Banjo-Kazooie
Yeah,
and
you broke the
Smash.
seal, you fuckers. Banjo and Kazooie
Well,
and Smash
try
Bros.
start
This
it.
is. I feel like I've talked about this multiple times on this podcast, but fuck yes, that is like, I'm like the biggest Smash Brothers fan. It's like my favorite series, and I've always wanted them to add Banjo. It's like the only character that I feel makes a roster incomplete without, and they fucking did it. And I was like, there had been rumors of Banjo and Smash like leading up to this direct, but no one could confirm it. And I was like trying to go to bed. No, I had to wake up at 4 a.m. thinking like, fuck, don't get excited. It's not going to happen.
So
and
what did
then-
you think when Duck Hunt Dog showed up?
Well, I mean, that was obviously a gag.
Well,
they
'cause-
did the same. They did the same thing.
It was
for,
the same thing.
another,
Yeah, it's the
reveal.
same.
For King
They did
K.
the
Rool.
same
It's like a
thing
play on a
with
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
K. Rool. It was like
Yeah.
because
yeah,
first
K-Rool.
DGD shows up. When
Yeah,
that
and that's why I was wondering what you thought, because I was wondering if you knew immediately, oh, this is going to be a bait and switch, and then the real Banjo is going to show
Oh,
up. Right?
absolutely. There's no
Yeah.
way there's no way they'd show a silhouette of Banjo-Kazooie and not put him in the game. It's like it's just for fun.
That would be like the ultimate troll for Nintendo if Duck Hunt Dog shows up pretending to
you
be
know how
Banjo,
much like
and then,
legal fucking
someone
shit they'd have
else
to get
comes
through
in.
to get
Well, no,
a
but see,
Microsoft character to cameo as a silhouette.
What they do is that they bait and switch, so it looks like it's gonna be Banjo, but it's actually Minecraft Steve.
That would be
I
like that would just be fucked up. That would like I would just
What would
quit video
what if-
games and go into the Himalayas and fucking yell from mountains.
Become
I
a
don't
monk.
know. Exactly.
what if
but like
what
a
if
really
Ban-
fucking
what-
pissed off monk.
what would you
A
do
really
if the
pissed off monk. So
Yeah,
you're
like-
just gonna be an actual real life D&D character.
Exactly. I'd just be standing. I'd be like underneath a waterfall, but I'd just be fucking pissed the whole time.
what would you do if they had like the silhouette of Banjo, and then it really was
You train
Banjo, and then
underneath the
Duck Hunt
waterfall
Dog
to
comes from
scream
above and hits
obscenities
him?
louder.
Sorry, what was your question?
I said, what would you do if they did the super bait and switch, where the silhouette really was Banjo-Kazooie, but then Duck Hunt Dog came from above and hit him?
I don't know. What if you fucking died in a car crash, man? I can't think about shit like that. I gotta live with the reality that I currently exist
Ow!
in, which is
So me
incredible.
So me dying in a car crash is on par
Guys.
with Banjo being in Smash.
guys,
Well-
guys, can I just say how wholesome it was to see the rare guys so happy to see their long lost brethren?
Oh, I've been binging Twitter like just nonstop since it happened. Like you've got all the rare guys like so happy that the characters are in. The guy who like modeled Banjo was like, finally his backpack has a bottom flap. I want to add it in 1998, but we didn't have enough memory. And I'm like, yes, that's so cool.
I'm just hoping that Banjo has a skin where
actually-
he's green and the bird is purple as reference to ukulele, and then we have another skin where Banjo has a purple backpack in reference to Dora the Explorer.
I don't know if they will do that, but that would
I mean,
be
I'll
amazing.
use the purple and green skin because those are my colors.
I'm just looking forward to the Minecraft skin.
It
Fun.
doesn't even make. God, there's so much. There's so much to talk about with Banjo, man. Like they got all his moves, they got all the sounds. It's like he should be in. He's always a character who should be in Smash Brothers. He's basically
no,
an
he
honorary
absolutely
Nintendo
should have been.
character. His Banjo-Kazooie the game is so fucking great, and so
I wouldn't be surprised if Sakurai wanted him in Smash from the beginning. It's just been the legal hurdles.
yeah. But now
Didn't
Microsoft
Rare,
and
like,
Nintendo are talking.
break-
It's so cool.
I was gonna say, didn't Rare break off from Nintendo or something? And
Yeah,
Microsoft
Microsoft
bought them
owns
out.
them. That's part of why it's such a big deal that Banjo's in Smash Brothers, because it means that
well, I'm
Microsoft
saying
had
that
to
that's
let
probably
their
why it
character
didn't
get in.
happen up until now.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, absolutely.
That's why I thought
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, no.
impossible, and why, even though there were rumors, I didn't want to get my hopes up. But here he is, and God, he looks. His character model is so good. Like it's not
Yeah.
quite exactly the original model, but like it feels like what a modern redesign would be.
Oh no,
It's so
I would have
beautiful.
rather them had the 64-bit model in Smash.
Well, I mean,
It-
just
it
like
might be a
proportionately,
costume.
like he's got
That's
like
a
a bigger
hot
upper
take,
body
buddy.
and stuff. Because
Actually,
got
they-
the eyelashes.
Didn't they have a Super Mario 64 model in Mario Odyssey?
Yes, that was pretty cool.
So I'm saying it's not entirely impossible they'd give him a retro Banjo look. They have wireframe Little Mac. Or maybe it is impossible because they already released the skins and it's not one of them. So heck if I know.
Banjo's definitely not out. Banjo won't be out for months, which kind of sucks.
I'm just looking for the Conquer's Verde
I would-
color scheme.
I would find that
That-
interesting, actually.
That would be cool.
Man,
God,
Banjo-Kazooie sounds like a so much more respectful character to his series than what I got.
It is. Oh, it looks perfect.
Oh,
It looks perfect.
Don't
Disney's
make me get
talking
the spray
about
bottle.
Dragon Quest here.
Oh, yeah, I was going to make a comment about Dragon Quest, but I'm not going to yet. Also, I got really confused because I saw a video for Dragon Quest on YouTube, but then
Yeah.
someone made a remark where they said that Dragon Quest was released in Japan and Banjo in the West. And I was like, wait,
No,
so
it's more like
they weren't
I think
shown
people are
at the
saying
same
that
conference?
that Dragon Quest is like no, that both we saw the Dragon Quest reveal here too, but it's
Oh.
more like Dragon Quest is really meaningful to Japanese people and not to anyone else because like
Hey,
it's like the grandfather of the RPG genre, but the earliest games didn't really get translated for a long time. So by the time we got them, they just seemed to be really basic RPGs when really they like invented RPGs.
Okay, Fire Emblem. Just gonna say that.
Sort of, but
What?
like way more important.
Yeah,
So
they
No,
were,
I'm
like,
saying
they were
Fire
kinda-
Emblem got big over here. What happened to Dragon Quest?
well,
Fire Emblem
Dragon
didn't
Quest
get
You know
is
what
over
like,
happened
here
to
until
get
like
Fire Emblem big over here?
Smash Brothers.
Fucking Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes,
Smash made
exactly.
Fire Emblem popular.
Kid Icarus too.
If anything, Dragon Quest being in Smash will make Dragon Quest more popular over here.
I
Yeah,
want
I
to
hope
play a
so,
Dragon Quest
'cause that's
game
cool.
now because of the Smash reveal, because it just looks so respectful to the series, and it
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know what Dragon Quest is, but this 3-minute trailer has sold me. I'm gonna go out and buy 11 on PS4.
honestly, I do
Yeah.
actually want to play a Dragon Quest game now. I've got other RPGs to get through first.
Yeah, no, this
but
like I wasn't like I've played Dragon Quest Monster Joker, and that was it's weird. Dragon Quest Monster Joker is sort of more like Shin Megami Tensei cross Dragon Quest in a lot of ways, but
How so? Because that could mean a lot of things.
well, it's it's kind of like the when I say Shin Megami Tensei, it's
like
more so
combat
it's a,
wise, story wise, character wise,
I'd say more combat wise.
combat
It's a really
wise.
bad example because it's more of a monster. It's more of a monster taming and capturing sort of is when you have your monsters fight for you.
Oh, I see. Well, that's kind of Pokemon-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're using a party of like I think you have like 3
I
monsters
see.
out on this. So
So it's
I
like
think-
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth.
yeah, it's more of like I guess that's more fair. But
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, that game that I played, it was really good.
I need
you-
to finish
you-
Hacker's
you-
Memory.
You make a salary man super depressed because the only joy he has in life is playing arcade games, and then you beat him at arcade games.
well,
This
look,
is a real
other
quest
people's
line. This is
fucking
a thing that
problems aren't
happened.
necessarily your problem. You know, that guy was fucked up for reasons beyond your control. All you did was play a game.
Yeah, no, but
He begs you to lose for him because it's all he has.
Well, that's fucking pathetic, man. Send it to the Shadow Realm.
Lunch is just hardcore today. He gets Banjo-Kazooie. That's all he needs.
Dude, I
He's
honestly
complete.
like they could put fucking whatever they could put literally like fucking they could put a fridge as the next playable character in Smash Brothers now. Just like a fridge, not from anything.
But what if they put Nerome in Smash?
That's what Meme Maker is for.
First, I would like sue. I'd think about suing, and then I think actually, you know what, you can have him. You can steal my intellectual property because you put Banjo in the game, and also
That'd actually
it
be-
means like
That would be really shitty, actually, because then they could sue you or copyright you or prevent you from using your own character. I mean, this would never happen, but like that would be like really, really shitty.
Oh yeah,
You'd never be able to use Nerome again because he'd now be copyright.
well whatever. I could still use him in my D&D campaign.
So not
You don't know the power of Nintendo's lawyers.
not to shift topics too much, just
Please
yeah,
shift
that's
topics because
intentional.
we're way off topic.
but I don't think we have much more to say about Smash. It's just cool that we've got those guys. It's about time that Banjo's in.
I could say
I
it's
will-
so cool.
I'm
for
gonna
another
spare you
hour.
all my rant. I'm gonna.
Yeah, like
I'll spare you my fury.
So
yeah,
cool.
Dizzy and I can talk about his frustrations. Maybe like if it's just the two of us or something, that'd be fun. But I wanted to talk a bit about Pokemon and the news that we got about Sword and Shield this week.
Okay, before you go further, how much news? Because I'm trying to be kind of blind to the game, but if this is like nothing super big, then I'm like,
I mean,
all right, I'm
something-
good.
I mean,
Oh, it is. It's super big. It's literally super big.
I mean, if it's the legendary Pokemon, that's not super big. If it's like,
No, do you want to? How about this, Tar? Do you know what the big news that was this week was?
You mean
about
the big news?
the big news?
the giant Pokemon?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that wasn't really this week. I mean, no, that was actually like I think a few weeks ago. I'm actually talking about like the controversial news about Sword and Shield.
Is it
Oh.
that
I
they're
haven't
giving
heard
the
about
main
this.
characters a voice?
It's
okay.
about the characters that you can't get everybody anymore. Someone else
Yeah,
explain
so
this.
yeah, there's no more national decks in Sword and Shield. They're not letting you carry over. Like, not all the Pokemon from previous generations are going to be available in Sword and Shield.
that
I
seems.
can kind of see why they did that, because, I mean, like, we're in Generation 8 now. There's, there's gotta be close to 1,000 now.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I've made comments, like, dating back to Generation 6, I believe, where I said, like, Nintendo can kind of solve this problem very easily. Stop making, like, more Pokemon. Like, we have so many. You don't need to make 150 more for every new version. Make, like, 2 for your legendary on your box art.
I watched
We
a really
can
great
live with
video
that.
by
We can
on
live
this YouTube
with
channel
that.
called Extra Frames, where they talk about
Six-
animation in games.
600
and
is a lot. Stop
he,
making
Actually,
Pokemon.
I actually did hear about the No More National Dex thing. It's like Pokemon, gotta catch some of them.
Well, I think the reason why people are afraid about this national dex thing is because with like that many Pokemon and saying we're not going to include someone's favorite Pokemon, a lot of someone's favorite Pokemon is going to be just gone until Generation 7 remake or Generation 8 remake at earliest. So that's probably what the concern is.
I love the idea of this person that's just like at home and they're like, oh my god, it's like collecting all 900 Pokemon was a waste of my time.
Well, it's also
God.
it's also has to do with like the competitive circuit.
As
It also has to do with
someone
the competitive circuits.
as someone who has a very like, I do like 100%ing things. So like removing that itch actually does feel pretty nice, especially because like I don't have access to all of them.
Thank God. Thank you for this mercy.
I think one of the biggest concerns actually comes down to the competitive scene, where some very popular competitive Pokemon are no longer going to be viable. Like,
God, new meta? That's brutal.
I know, right? But
I still say this problem could have been avoided by them not having by them not creating such a gigantic load to transfer.
No, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's totally inevitable.
Nintendo,
We're finally
please
getting rid
calm
of
it down.
Smog Online.
I think
just stop
what it is
making
kind of also
so many.
pulling from is there's a series people like to compare Pokemon compared to Pokemon, which is Shin Megami Tensei.
I thought you were going to say Digimon.
Yeah, no, I mean Digimon also as well is they don't add all these new Digimon or demons to for example, they've been using most of the same demon pool for like the past like 20 years.
25
they
years.
might add some news. Like the most that they do is they redesign the demons at the most part
and repurpose them.
Yeah, they repurpose and they redesign, but
some guys are bosses in this game and some guys aren't bosses in this game, and this guy King Frost looks different in this game and that game, and some demons just straight up don't show up in some games at all.
Yeah, it's like the pool's always changing per Shin Megami Tensei game and spinoff, and it's like, and you don't have this overload of demons. Like I think maybe we have like 400, 500 demons in total. Like if we're not like counting duplicates.
I mean, even having that many creatures is like
Pokemon.
a scale problem, for like trying to make a modern game. So then if you like double that amount, like that's absurd. Like how can you possibly make a sequel?
What Shin Megami Tensei has in favor is it doesn't try to be this big like high budget production. Another thing I want to talk about with that is
Pokemon
I think
didn't
part of the
either
decision comes down to. I think another big reason for this decision is the Dynamaxing, because you can Dynamax any Pokemon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're storing giant models for every single Dynamaxed Pokemon.
I don't know if that's how that works. I feel
Game
like
Freak are Game Freak are known as terrible known to not be the best programmers. First off, second, there are benefits to
locking yourself out of the Elite Four in Generation 3, locking yourself in the Elite Four in Generation 1.
But there are real reasons to there are benefits to storing them and dynamically enlarging. One of the big reasons that let's say they might want to make specific models, like store extra models for the large ones, is so that they can make sure there's no clipping and to make sure things actually work and it's a proper size for the thing. Because imagine something like Wailord. Okay, you see the size that a tiny Pokemon gets when it's Dynamaxing. Imagine a Pokemon like Wailord becoming that exponentially larger.
I'd love it if they just cut his model entirely in half and you just cannot see his back from any angle. He's just so big, or he's just a shadow.
A Dynamax Wailord would literally if it's the same proportions as
I don't think it's gonna be.
Yeah, otherwise it would kill everyone in the arena and everyone watching in the stands.
I think all the Dynamaxes are gonna have roughly the same model size.
Yeah, but that's
What
that's
if they?
where
What if they just make the player models smaller to give a greater and zoom in the camera to give an impression?
But then
of
that's also
size?
that means that well then that means they're like it's a bunch of weird models. But like I don't know if they are storing all the extra models. There are reasons to do that. But if they are making the Dynamax models specific models for whatever reason, that can be one of the reasons why they decided not to do the National Pokédex, because that's an impossible task, because they're immediately doubling the count of Pokemon from like 1,000 to 2,000
I
on a
think
single
that's
cartridge.
possible, but I think my hunch is that the real problem is like having. It's more about like everything else to do with, like I think it's less about memory and more about like animation
Well,
and
actually,
making.
well, I mean, in general, it's also it doesn't, even if it's not the.
I think that's probably
it's,
part of a problem.
Well,
See-
even if it's not, even like if it's not double models, it's a bunch of higher quality new models for 1,000 Pokemon.
And I think
All on
there's
sync.
probably going to be a few extra animations and stuff, which like
Yeah.
even if you add one more animation for every Pokemon, that's like 1,000 more animations you're adding to the game. You know, like, and it's not that many
I mean, I
Pokemon share a body type where you can just reuse an animation. Like some of them are fucking ice cream, and some of them are
Like,
beach
outside of
balls.
just-
Some of them are
Like,
three
wait, who's
beach
a beach
balls.
ball? Wait, who's the beach
That-
balls?
Okay, look, Electrode's a beach ball, and then Magnemite or whatever is like three balls.
Voltorb.
Okay,
Voltorb's a beach ball.
okay. Magneton is not beach balls. Let's just get that one out of the way right
Look,
right
well,
out the gate.
okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that in a passing comment trying to think of circular Pokemon. I'm sure there's a Pokemon that's three beach balls. There are 1,000 of them. There has to be one.
No,
I mean, yeah.
beach balls
I
are
don't
really
think that's
big.
been done yet.
I mean,
I was
Cicada
gonna-
is kind of
I
just
was
a bunch of tiny beach balls.
I was gonna say,
Thank
like,
you.
I'm questioning if this I'm questioning about this conversation and stuff because I'm wondering if like years a year or two from now when Sword and Shield's out, if this conversation will be overridden by Nintendo saying, "Hey, we're patching in the rest of the national
No, they
decks."
already said that they're not going to patch in all the Pokemon.
They're not going to patch
They
it
already
in.
said they're not going to do it.
I
well, that's
I
what-
bet when
that's
they
what
made
happens
that
when
decision
someone
in the
comments
office,
on the-
everybody was just like, "Thank fucking God." People are gonna hate
See,
this, but thank God.
This is what happens
we
when
want-
someone comments on the Nintendo Direct who didn't watch the Nintendo Direct. Maybe they'll patch it in. No, they explicitly said they won't. Oh,
Look, I just hope
Oh.
Combuskin gets in there because he's the only good Pokemon.
Maybe
I wa-
Flaming Cock.
I genuinely
Yes,
wonder if Combuskin will
Okay,
get
you
in
know
there.
what? Fuck it. I'll just accept that. I hope they add my fucking tiny flaming cock into Pokemon
I
Sword
wonder.
and Shield.
I wonder. Are they gonna? Are they gonna?
He's
they'll
important to me. He's a
probably-
good boy.
They'll probably leave out. They'll probably remove Z moves and Mega Evolution. I imagine if this
They are.
is
They are.
Yeah.
I think they've already confirmed that they're not bringing them over.
well
I'm pr-
that's always kind of weird to me because Mega Evolution was retconned out of existence in Sun and Moon, and now they're getting rid of Z moves, and I'm like, I'm pointing at Nintendo and I'm saying Kirby, first Kirby, now Pokemon. Like, you really like to add things in for one game and then get rid of them, don't you?
Well,
Well, I think that's
obviously they're
And I'm
gonna
like-
add Mega Evolution to Kirby, and they'll add whatever the fuck from Kirby into Pokemon.
they'll add an epic yarn to.
No.
Pokemon.
Well, I mean,
Give me Yon Pikachu,
look-
please.
honestly,
I'm glad Mega Evolution is gone. The old
Yeah, me too.
I look at Nintendo and then I look
the only
back at
Pokemon
Atlas and I
ever
look at
really used
Nintendo and
Mega
I'm like,
Evolution for was fucking Venusaur.
I'll
What,
say
you
this
got,
about
you got a
Nintendo.
problem with Venusaur, huh? Huh, buddy?
I love Venusaur. He's a good boy.
Okay.
I'll say
Loves his
this.
Vines.
I'll say this about Nintendo and
What?
their Legend of Zelda, their Kirby, their Pokemon, their Super Mario Brothers. They're adding things in for one game and then getting rid of it for the next game. At least the base game is still fun. I'm giving you many passes, Nintendo. I'm saying I'm a little bit annoyed that you introduced this new mechanic just to never touch it again. But the game was all right, so I'll just ignore it for now.
Speaking of Nintendo with
Link can no longer turn into a silhouette and walk along walls. That was one game. Well, yeah, but that game was really good, so I'll let it slide. Kirby
that's a
only
great
has the
game.
robot suit for one game. Well, yeah, but it was a good game, so all right, I'll let it slide. And then the Star Allies show up, and it's like that was one game, and I'm like, all right. I'm a lot more
It's sort
forgiving
of-
because of it's Nintendo and because the
I mean,
games are overall pretty good.
I don't know if any of you played Breath of the Wild, but did you see that there's going to be a sequel to it?
Yeah, so
I
that
did
was
hear
big
about
news.
that, and people are getting hot and heavy over Ganondorf for some reason.
I like that he's a spooky skeleton. Finding
Yeah.
Is it a
Gandalf's corpse in
sequel
the
or is
crypt
it just a
fucking-
similar?
It's a
It's
sequel.
like Breath of the Wild 2.
It is Breath of the Wild 2.
So it's a direct sequel then.
Yeah, it's a direct sequel. Same Link and Zelda, except Zelda's got a haircut. And
That's pretty weird for Legend of Zelda, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, that's what,
Yeah, they've
that's
almost
sort of
never
like-
done
The
that.
last- Yeah,
Which
Majora's
also
Mask
makes
was
me
the
wonder
last
if they're
one,
gonna
I
have
think,
that
wasn't
same,
it?
Like, if they're gonna have that same like book mechanic from the first one, which I still haven't played yet.
Please tell me that they're gonna have some reference to people like starting the game and running straight to Ganondorf and killing him.
That's like a.
That'd be cool.
That's really cool that you
Cool
can
if
do that in
Bre-
Breath of the Wild. I
Breath of
tried.
the Wild
It was
speed
too
run.
hard.
Breath of the I see Breath of the Wild speed runs in like 30 minutes, and they're like basically they're like running someplace, get something, run to Ganondorf, kill him, end game, and it's like I'm like Nintendo, please reference this. Please have Zelda or someone say something like
It
either
makes me wonder if there's gonna be a transferable save, if there's gonna be some sort of save bonus or whatever, like from the first one. Which also means I'm not gonna touch my Wii U version of Breath of the Wild until it's confirmed that there's no save bonus in 2.
This guy's got the Wii U Breath of the Wild. Holy shit.
I have it still.
This guy has
packaged.
a Wii U. Holy shit!
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I have a
I've got
Wii
the best
U.
console ever.
I got fucking Smash Brothers on this thing, but I didn't get Zelda on it. So you're
I didn't get a Wii U, and that was the smartest
my-
purchase I haven't made.
My Breath of the Wild is still shrink wrapped because I haven't got around to playing it yet.
Quick, sell it on eBay for $100.
I probably could get away with that. I would probably seriously could
Sell it
get
for
away with that.
$500.
for Wii U.
Probably not 500 because
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2 goes for 250.
And Sonic Adventure 2 is the best game ever made.
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
What,
It's
what
not.
meme are we going?
It's my favorite.
Physical game, like reselling physical games is like doesn't have the same values it once had, thanks to all the thanks to like digital copies, emulators, etc. Like unless if you got like a weird collector's edition of something, people don't particularly care to have the physical version of something
Yeah.
Well-
as a resell.
Well.
I just wanted to briefly bring up scope again, just for a second, just to think. Because I was just thinking with this whole Pokemon problem, where you've got too many Pokemon, so it's hard to like keep adding more and then make a sequel. I really have no idea what happens to the Smash Bros. Franchise after Ultimate. No idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. See, that's the thing
It's gonna be a fresh start with new characters completely. They're wiping the slate clean.
that would.
But
I
there
am
has to be
Smash
something
Brothers.
new. I fucking take II, man. Hell yeah.
Honestly, flipping Smash Brothers, like for as much as people love Ultimate, and as for much as the moment I buy a Nintendo Switch, I'm buying Smash Ultimate. That's just one of those things that's gonna happen. It's
Yes.
like what's his face? Sakura wanted it to end with Melee, and it's like I kind of see why, because this is what happens when it has to keep topping itself every single time a new one comes out. It has to keep topping itself, and I'm like, I really hope Ultimate is the last one because Melee couldn't be the last one, because topping Ultimate is not impossible, but it's ridiculous. And then topping whatever comes after Ultimate sounds like it's going to just kill the poor man.
Well, it's not fair on Sakurai, really.
I hope
Yeah.
that someone who isn't
I'm
like
like-
Ultimate is already look. They just added Banjo, so Ultimate is now the most ultimate Smash Bros. Game you can make. I reckon.
Here,
Well,
Give Sakurai.
here's what I say.
Let Sakurai like just sail away from the franchise,
Well, I
and
mean,
then
it's
years
the
later
same
let
thing
someone
with-
else reboot it.
Here's what I
Like
say.
Danganronpa, where Kodaka's moved away from the company. He's not working on Danganronpa anymore. V3 is kind of his magnum opus in regards to the Danganronpa series. They're not going to kill off.
Yeah,
They're going to make more Danganronpa stuff,
Wait,
but
so
They
what-
are?
there's nothing more.
I
That
thought Danganronpa ended.
It's complicated, but Danganronpa is not going to like.
Well, Persona
Spike
is in a
Chunsoft's
similar
gonna make more-
situation.
Spike Chunsoft's going to make more Danganronpas unless if like they start a project and it completely falls apart.
Here's
They're gonna,
here's
Spike
my
Chunsoft's going to try to make another Danganronpa.
Here's my suggestion to Nintendo that they will never ever hear, because this podcast is really, really small, and even if it was huge, Nintendo still wouldn't hear it. Smash Ultimate should be the last Smash Brothers, and if you need to have more, port Smash Ultimate to your next console and maybe make some new DLC fighters.
I
And
think
after a while, when the Switch is outdated, just discontinue the Switch version and just keep porting Ultimate. You have all the characters already. Don't make a new engine. Just
I think
port
they'll do that
Ultimate
for
when you
a
make
long
new
time
console.
for sure. Like
Yeah,
I think
just
that will be
don't
the
make a
strategy
new-
at least for a while.
Don't
But
Don't just make a
eventually,
new Smash Brothers. Just
eventually,
keep Ultimate.
like when we're way in the future, having a game that's like basically an enhancement of a like a Wii U game is just gonna be like they're gonna have to be a bit more competitive one day, and one day they'll have to make a new game. I think we're way off from that point, but it'll be interesting to see what they try and do to make it worth starting with less stuff.
I mean, people still play Minecraft.
Sure,
as long as we're talking about Smash Brothers,
I want to always been a platform, you know. And like Nintendo wants to be able to launch their brand new big Smash Brothers game
save my
someday.
theory.
I feel like maybe what they could do to it is like put in like a proper campaign again and like add a bunch of like, I don't know, man. What do you do?
I kind of think you need kind of like a Smash New Generation where it's like you've got a completely new roster. Maybe like have something like maybe still have like your Mario and Link.
It's basically just iconic thing. I feel like at that point you're just making a new game entirely. Yeah.
Well,
people hate it when they redo the whole cast and like make a bunch of new guys, like Street Fighter 3,
Mortal Kombat 10,
Soul Calibur 5.
I think if they
Mortal Kombat 10.
Well, I think if they market it as this is a new generation of Smash, like this is and there are serious changes to like the formula or whatever, like people aren't going to be happy like initially, but it's sort of like where Smash needs to go. Like it sort of needs a new direction. It needs someone other than Sakurai working on it.
Because you can't outdo what they already have. Like there's no outdoing it, and like especially when games are only going to get more expensive to make and harder to make, and people demand them sooner. Like you need to make something a bit different, I think.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. The other thing to try is I think your comment people won't like initially. I think that pretty much sums it up right there.
Well, it's people don't like change in general. It doesn't matter. Like
the initial change. The initial backlash is pretty much the hardest wave to get over.
Mm-hmm.
But what if it looks incredible though? You know.
Yeah, but
they fucking bring
Anthem
graphics.
Looks incredible. Lunch.
Yeah, but no, Anthem's not a set series. Like
Anthem also sucks. So I want to play it though because it's BioWare.
It's BioWare magic.
I mean, like just out of curiosity. I played Dragon Age 2 and that was pretty bad, but I also liked it. So
as long as we're talking about Smash Brothers, I was just gonna make a sideways remark about like I wonder how Joker will fit into the future, considering Joker is like super dated.
All these third-party characters are like difficult to even like. They weren't even sure
Joker was probably
again, I think.
Honestly, putting Joker in Smash is probably one of the worst ideas Atlas had, because the moment something more popular comes around, the moment they make something more popular, like a Persona 6 or a Shin Megami Tensei 5, they're going to forget about Joker entirely. They've immortalized him by putting him in Smash, but they themselves don't care about him, so that's
sort of what's weird
probably
about Shin Megami Tensei in general is that Shin Megami Tensei is an incredibly niche series. There's not a lot of,
there's no face of Shin Megami Tensei, with the exception of Jack Frost, but no one apparently cares about him anymore.
Okay. Anybody who's a Shin Megami Tensei diehard or fan who's been playing the series forever would not look at Joker and say this is the face of
anything.
Shin Megami Tensei. The face of anything. There's a bunch of other demons and characters that people might have debates over what's a good one. Jack Frost is obviously like the most like iconic. But for anybody who's got like a surface level introduction to Shin Megami Tensei, they would look at Persona 5 was many people's introduction to Shin Megami Tensei in the first place.
Yeah, and that's why it pisses me off so much, because it was such a bad introduction.
And in some ways, Joker is the new like figurehead of Shin Megami Tensei for whatever dumb reason.
No, because that's the thing about figureheading.
Entry fucking drug.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that this is not the first time they've done this, and Joker won't be the last, and that's why I'm upset about this, because Joker is the third iteration that I've counted of the pushing, and he won't be the last one, and that's why I think it's interesting, because I'm almost wondering, hypothetically in the future, when they make Smash 6, if Atlas is going to say, please pull back Joker and put in our new character that we're shoving, and then Nintendo's going to look at it and they're going to say, but we have Joker. They're going to say, yes, but Joker is old. We want new character.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because I look at something like the Persona series and I see Yuna Arakami being a much more iconic character, and that's simply because of his anime portrayal.
You see him as being a more popular character because before Joker, he was shilled the hell and back.
Well, not just popular, but I feel like you kind of, and I'm saying this is very much more because of his anime appearance and how that's shaped his personality and.
You certainly has a lot more personality than Joker. I'll say that.
You is an actual character. He's like someone you can relate to, cheer for, look up to.
Yeah.
Where Joker is just yes, he's level self-insert like every Shin Megami Tensei character.
Joker has a character, but his character is completely. Well, for one thing, it's not really representative of the player of the game, and for another thing, it's horribly inconsistent.
Well, the other thing is you is like Joe Everyman, like
kind of.
You somehow is like you to some degree is like your average high school teenager, but yet is also like this unique like individual with this like kind of cool personality. Yeah.
All right, we have 3 minutes left. You're gonna feel my wrath now because we brought up Persona and Smash Brothers. You're gonna feel my You're gonna feel my wrath now. Dragon Quest Heroes character. Dragon Quest Hero character reignited my annoyance at Smash Joker because of all the things people say about Smash Joker. I can now point at Dragon Quest Hero guy and say, no, this is your fucking legacy character. This is respectful representation of your series. This is a guy with multiple skins representing his previous characters, a final Smash that's respectful to the series it's from, skills and abilities that are from the game and not flipping made up. This is a character this is a legacy character, not Mr. Four Jackets based on logos, retconned grappling hook, skills made from the fucking trailer, only color skin that is in any way referential to the game, being the popular surprise villain that Atlas wanted to keep such a big secret that they were threatening to take down people's YouTube and Twitch channels, me outfits of Narukami and Minato, because those two were the exclusive popular ones, and only referencing Persona 3 and 4 in your freaking Memento stage.
Okay, are we gonna spend the next 2 minutes antagonizing Dizzy? Okay, first of all,
that is respect
the hero,
for your series, right? Piss off.
The hero from Dragon Quest you can only do 4 skins of the same guy because none of them have any personality and they're all like dude with sword and shield. You couldn't do something similar to Persona because Joker is fucking unique from the other characters and the other ones from him. And like, I don't know, like, I feel like what they did with the Dragon Quest guy is more like going above and beyond. And if you look at the Dragon Quest guy,
above and beyond for a passion project.
But the hero seems to have like a couple of moves from Link, and like all of his like basic attacks seem to be taken from other characters. So it feels like the price they paid with scale and scope of like getting all the series and putting all these moves is that he's kind of a derivative character. Well, you got Joker, and he's got all of his unique animations. And he's
saying that a character with a sword and a shield plays similarly to another character with a sword
and a
shield.
No, like he literally has
3 variations.
He literally has the same animation, like he's got Link's dash attack and like his forward smash is Roy's neutral B and stuff. Like he's like made out of different. He's like a patchwork. I'm not saying that that's a problem. I'm saying that like that's the price of the scale of the fucking thing. As for Joker having moves from the intro of the game,
the roster, you mean?
Well, the scale of himself, because there are he's 4 characters in one with like 20 special moves or some shit. I don't know, man. I'm just antagonizing you because there's 2 minutes left and it's fun. I don't really care. I feel like most of those complaints about Joker are pretty fair.
I will say this about Joker too that drives me completely up the wall about this non-existent legacy that we're bringing up. Number 1, Joker has nothing to do with Persona. Number 2, Joker would have pissed me off literally 1,000,000% less. He would have made me so much less angry if they just made him a Persona 5 representative character. Don't give these BS skin references to your other popular games because apparently Joker is not popular enough to sell. Oh, did I leave the call?
No,
Try's gone?
No, Try ducked out.
Try
like it's all these pandering references that just seem to speak to a shallowness that like Joker apparently isn't big enough to sell himself, so we have to put in me outfits of the previous main characters and make Mementos not just his stage, but reference the other stages. And
so you want like 100% or 1%?
Yeah, they should have gone. They should have gone 100%. Is what I'm saying.
They should put in everything, or make him only Persona 5, like Cloud is
Persona
only Final Fantasy 7.
They should have just made him a Persona 5 focus. Give Shujin Academy skins. Give him more references to his freaking teammates that he spends an 100-hour campaign with than them just showing up in the background or for his final smash. And don't give him special. And don't give him special moves that you have to A, retcon into existence, B, grabbed from the opening cinematic, or C, made up out wholesale. And it's for reasons like that Dragon Quest Hero guy just seems so much more respectful to me.
What is it that you want to add?
The only colors that Joker's teammates are, from what I've seen, I'm not an expert, is red and black.
No, there's also yellow, blue, white, green, and purple.
Well, there you go.
Plus their hair colors.
Oh, the hair from the hair colors? You want them to give outfits from his hair? Okay.
Different hair colors, different skins. We Cloud Strife up in here, but not.
Freaking Shulk and Lucina have different colors that are represented, that are like the color schemes of their teammates. Yeah, they don't look very much like their teammates.
Honestly,
but the fact that it's there at all is
I can understand a lot of your complaints, but I think having a bit of content in there from the other Persona games that are the most popular
Joker is a goddamn giraffe.
Is not really, if anything, that's cool. Like, my flatmate, he's only played a bit of a Persona 4, I think. And so, when they put in music from that game, he's like, sick! I love that music! That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's only...
It's like...
Firstly...
What's the problem?
Okay, firstly, having music from previous games is not one of the things I complained about. Goddamn, Sonic the Hedgehog has music from all of his freaking tracks,
so
even though the only stage he has
is... The color schemes?
Yes! There's,
okay.
like, referencing... Like, you talk about this legacy character, but the only legacy that is being represented is the legacy of 3 and 4, which even then are being misrepresented.
Yeah, but those are the
it just speaks
ones.
of shallow.
Those are the ones that people
Because popular just completely overwrites just the entire...
Yeah,
like, it's not legacy then.
Why wouldn't you represent, like, here's your character, here's your
What about 1
in
and
Smash?
2, the things that started the series?
Yeah, but, I mean, fuck. I mean,
I'm just here.
It's not
Yeah,
like
Tara's just
they're not
here.
gonna put Ray the Flying Squirrel in Smash Brothers because the arcade game or some shit, you know?
Who the hell is
It's
Ray
like-
the Flying Squirrel?
Exactly.
This isn't even
exactly who's Ray the Flying Squirrel. This is your opportunity to get in this game with your iconic character. You only have so much content you can put in. You gotta put on stuff that people know and recognize.
That's not even close to the same thing, because what I'm suggesting is small scale. I'm not saying put in the entirety of 1 and 2. I'm saying if you're gonna do these cosmetic changes, not even reference 1 and 2, and you're gonna add Mii fighters of specifically these other two protagonists, not even the female protagonist that everyone is so crazy about. It's like, it speaks to the shallowness and this lack of faith in their own freaking character that they'd have to tie him to the previous games instead of letting 5 speak for itself.
Are they tying him to the other games, or are they just trying to add in a few extra like bits and bobs of the series?
More than half of his color schemes are references to things he has nothing to do with.
Yeah, but like their Persona.
They have nothing to do with one another.
But he's from the same series.
This isn't even like red and like gold and red versions of Pokemon. This is literally the only similarity. The only thing that any of these games have in common is the name. They all tackle completely different themes and have completely different stories involving completely different characters. And also, I actually don't know. Did they even bother to add any tracks from 1 and 2?
I don't believe they did.
If they didn't
I just
even
think
bother
you're
to
oddly
add
hung
tracks,
up on color palettes.
if they didn't even bother to add tracks, that's just completely like... It's because it all feels so transparent, and I'm saying it shouldn't have even been an issue in the first place if they just made Joker the Persona 5 character. If they just didn't even bother to try and half-heartedly bring up the other games. It's like, don't put in a half effort, put in a full effort to just making Joker the straight Persona 5 character. That's what they should have done. They spread him too thin.
I just can't understand the depth of your rage for like a couple of color palette options and some Mii Fighter costumes. Like, okay, here's the thing. Alright, you want to talk about Mii Fighter costumes and like representing like all the games? People have to buy Mii Fighter costumes. So like, you gotta sell them something that they recognize.
They're not going to recognize, for example, Joker's outfit, which they put in Sonic Forces, or even his student uniform, which A, he wears in Smash Ultimate, and B, he wears throughout all of Persona 5.
What?
I'm saying they should have put, like, just the Shujin Academy uniform that Joker wears when he's not doing his Phantom Thief stuff as a Mii outfit. His school uniform is already distinct.
Standard outfit for Joker? I feel
They
like
could have
the
also
standard
put in the
outfit for Joker was a better move there.
For the Mii Fighter? Because they could have done both.
No, like, so his 7th and 8th costume is the Shujin Academy outfit, correct?
No, I'm saying they keep that. I'm saying they should have also made the Shujin Academy outfit the Mii outfit. I'm not saying they removed Joker's Shujin Academy outfit. That was actually a good touch. That was a good touch to have him have the Shujin Academy outfit because he freaking wears it for like 50% of the game. Or 70% of the game if you're me, because his joke Phantom Thief outfit looks horrible, and I always like get him out of it the first chance I can get, but that's me personally. People seem to like his Phantom Thief outfit.
Foresee this battle raging on for another like half hour, but I don't think I'm gonna logic you out of like your anger, especially when I've never played a Persona game and I don't know what I'm talking about. But
my anger stems from the fact that people are giving Joker so much credit, whereas when I look at him, I see a completely shallow husk.
But, like, it's based on a couple of costumes, and, like, because they decided to try and represent a little bit more of the series. I mean, you look at him, he's a wonderfully animated,
color schemes,
slender boy.
Moveset, stage, music choices.
His stage
5
is cool!
massive reasons.
His stage is so cool! It's all these fucking crazy effects and shit, and circles, and all of his friends show up! All of his fucking friends show up. He's got a really cinematic final smash. He's like...
His final smash is one of the very few things I have nothing to complain about.
He's like...
Final smash, Shujin Academy outfit, and Iga. That's
he
pretty
like
much
fucking
it.
summons a Persona dude, and then they like punch at the same time, and it's cool. Like... it looks like Persona, right?
Literally, the fact that your only argument is that it looks cool is the least Persona part about it.
I would never understand. I would never understand the true meaning of Persona.
Well, it's because Persona is a game that literally made its name in deep psychology, and in Persona 5 and with Smash Joker, it sold its deep psychology for spectacle, and it's part of that reason, too, that it frustrates me, because people are so wrapped up in the spectacle of the affair, when that was never what it was about.
You want to know what I think with no real basis, Dizzy?
That I'm wrong and have way too much obsession with this?
No, I think that there's almost... I know there are things specifically you don't like about Joker being in Smash, but, like, you hate Persona 5. You hate that game. So, like, what could they possibly... What could they possibly do?
They could have made Joker a straight Persona 5 character, for one thing. They could have given him moves that weren't taken from, like, either 3 seconds of looking at the game or made up wholesale.
But why do you care about these things if you hate his character in the first place?
Because I love Persona!
But you don't like Persona 5?
I don't like Persona 5 because it's disrespectful to the franchise in how completely not it is and how soulless it is.
So why do you care if it has an accurate representation if it's garbage?
Because an accurate representation is better than a shallow husk that's basically saying, look at all this stuff we totally did. Buy our games, give us money.
But do you think Persona 5 is a shallow husk?
Persona 5 has so much to like in it.
Oh god, you've got such an abusive relationship with this game!
Let me explain. Like, I give Persona 5 a very hard time because I care so much about the series and the franchise. And for as much as I hate about Persona 5, I'm literally, like, referenced and quoted as saying I'm pretty much the person who likes it the most in our entire friends group. Or at least of anyone I've ever flippin' met. Because I don't look at it and say this Persona 5 is 100% objective trash. I look at it and I say this could have been so much more than it was, but it just kept selling out. And then in Smash Ultimate, they're putting in Joker, and I'm just seeing more selling out. And I'm like, I look at Atlas and I say, Atlas, you have no faith in Persona 5, do you? You're retconning Persona 5 out of existence with Persona 5 The Royal. So this game literally doesn't exist anymore. It's not gonna exist anymore. And you're putting Joker in Smash. You're giving him moves that you made up that he never does. You're giving him jackets to quote your other games instead of quoting Persona 5 itself. You're giving him a stage that like completely changes to reference 4 and 3 because 4 and 3 sold well. You're giving like me outfits to reference 4 and 3 because 4 and 3 sold well. Joker in Smash Ultimate has nothing to do with Persona 5 at all. And I'm looking at that and I'm saying, how did you do this? 2, why did you do this? It's like at this point, I feel like I like Persona 5 more than Persona 5's very own creator, and I'm actually the one saying Smash Joker is disrespectful to Persona 5, and Persona 5 is disrespectful to Persona. Please fix this. And they're saying, we can't hear you because you're literally nobody and we're a massive corporation. And I'm saying, and also we're in Japan and you're non-Japan, so there really is no logistic way we can ever hear your complaints. And I'm like, well then, I'll just say it to people who can hear me.
And
Well,
this has been Bros in a
Yeah, this
Landfill?
has been Bros in a Landfill.
This is the most depressing ending ever. Tar,
It was
quick,
the
say
most
something
Bros in a
funny.
Landfill ending ever. We
Sorry,
ended it
quick, say something
perfectly.
funny.
No, wait, no, that doesn't work. That works better as a comeback.
Leave us on a good note, Tar.
Ah!
That was a good note.